Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel, Chaos to Calm Budgets. This is my channel where I am documenting our debt payoff journey and our savings goals through cash stuffing and just general budgeting. Welcome to new subscribers and returning subscribers. It's really great for you to join me on this journey. Again, I welcome any constructive comments that you have to give. I am of the motto progress, not perfection. So any sort of hints, tips, guidance, anything that you think we could do better would be much appreciated, or just general encouragement, because as is probably for most people, it's tough. It is tough at the moment, isn't it? I think when we started to accumulate the debt, it seemed very much affordable, and it just goes to show, doesn't it, that we can't predict what's going to happen in the economy and things like that, and you know how little our wages are stretching at the moment. But we are where we are. We are going to deal with it. We're going to crack on. We aren't going to let it stop us from looking to achieve some of our goals and some of the things that we want to do in our lives. So yeah, we're just going to get on with it. So today's video is going to be a twofold video. I'm going to be looking and reviewing what we've spent for the week and getting everything all aligned in terms of what's in my folders and what's in our budgets in general for each of our little categories. But I'm also going to probably cash condense some of this. It's in the folders here to get into some of our Monzo pots, and then I'm also going to review where we are generally at with our savings on our debt payoff. So we started off with around, I think, 74,000 pounds worth of debt. So I'd really like to see where we're up to now. I didn't do that last month, so this will look like I've got 2 months of sort of clearance of the debt and savings, but either way it would be just good to review where we're up to. So without further ado, let's do this. So this is my getting my budget planner out. I will go through what we've got left coming up, just in terms of what we spent then this week. Let's start off with our food. So for food, we have spent £2.94 there. Then we have got £10.88 there, £26.21 there, and £2.93 there, and then £116.65. Now this is everything I did put into food. What I may do though is, because some of these expenditures were for things that I bought to do for Christmas presents, so I try and do some homemade goodies to give out to sort of our nearest and dearest, where we don't kind of buy specific presents for. So I've been doing some chutneys this week with some apples that we've grown on our apple tree in the garden, and we've also looking to prepare some gin that my husband, I say brews, he doesn't really brew it, he flavours it, but it is very tasty, with some damsons and some rhubarb that we grow as well. So I've just bought some kind of the jars and just things and the ingredients to actually make it and things like that. So that will, I'm thinking I will probably top up our food budget for this month with some money out of our Christmas budget and start documenting what we're spending on Christmas, because there were a few things that I am already starting to get prepared for in advance. So I do Christmas cakes as well. I bake, well, it normally would be 5, but I have opted not to bake my mum one this year, given that she is on her own now. So yeah, we had a chat about it. It wouldn't be just wouldn't be appropriate really for a whole Christmas cake going to my mum, with my dad obviously not with us this year. So yeah, so it's only 4 that I'm doing, so I say only 4, but yeah, so we keep one for ourselves, and then we give out the other 3 to some friends and family as part of their Christmas present. So some of that, I think, some of this money that we spent on food can be taken for from the Christmas budget. I wish I had kept the receipts and I had properly marked it down, but we haven't. We are where we are. So I'm going to look at what I've got in my food budget, take out what I can, make sure I leave enough for this week. I've just ruled off, because I have started putting some expenditures down for the upcoming week there. Yeah, so I'll have a look what we've got, what we need for next month, and then equate it from there. Whew, blarting along then again, chatting away. Right, so it's basically 160, isn't it, that is on the food budget. So what did I have left in food? Let's have a look. I had 400 left in food. And so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to do 100 and then take 60 for the from the Christmas budget for the Christmas goods expenditure that we've done. Okay, so I'm going to make a note of that. So I'm going to put 100 aside, leaves us with 300 for the rest of the month. Three left, because it's a five week month for us. So I'm going to tick these off. Food there, food, all of those. And then I'm going to make a note that I'm going to take 60, start a new sheet for our Christmas log. So I'm going to put Christmas spends, call it Christmas spends. Let's do a nice colour. Christmas spends. I haven't got the neatest of handwriting. So I'm going to put, if I put baked goods, baked made goods, because I do budget for Christmas in terms of, I might do that as a video actually and show you what I budget for each thing, and because we save £100 a month throughout the year, so that's £1,200 that we have when we come to Christmas, and then we assign so much per person and who we're going to buy for. We already have a running rule between sort of my husband and mine's brothers and sisters where we don't buy for each other. We'll just buy for kids, so that kind of reduces some of the spends that way as well. So that I'm going to put there £60 there, just so that I've got a track of that. Okay, so put that aside for what now? £100 there. And then for miscellaneous, a new bottle. I needed a new water bottle, that was it. So where is my misc folder? Let's have a look. It's not in this one. I think it's in my green sort of medium term one. Let's see what I've got. I don't think I've got enough, so I'm going to put an IOU in there for next month. So that's 10. I have got a few miscs actually there, so what I might do is add all these up. So we also had so I'm going to add the £2.99 and the 30 and the £2.50. So the 30 and the £2.50 was for my little man's. It's got a school trip that we've had to pay a deposit for. It's a big overnight residential, so it's 130 altogether. So I'm going to start, I think, from next month looking at putting a little bit each side to pay the rest of that off. And then yeah, he had a school disco that's coming up that we had to pay a £2.50 contribution towards. So I'm going to put take the 10 out, and then what's left, £35.49 onto an IOU. £49. I didn't really want to be doing the IOUs and things like that, but hopefully we will start accumulating pennies as we go. That will be paid off next month as well. So £10 to go into spent on credit, which I will do at the end. So we will tick off the miscellaneous. Then what do we have left? We've got £345 out of the pound challenge. So I need to put this at the beginning here, because I do that from my Monzo pot anyway. So I'm just going to put a little spent there. So this is £345 there. This is from points that I've purchased on my Virgin travel account. So if you have, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's the Virgin points accumulator that you can then use to upgrade or buy flights with. So I set up an account a couple of years ago because we'd gone on holiday, I think, to Florida, and we've also been to San Francisco and Vegas for my husband's 40th, and that was Virgin flights. So they accumulated points. So I've got some points already sitting there. And then we had an offer that's come through where we can get something like 20,000 or 30,000 points or something like that. I basically topped up to match what my friend has got, because we are travelling next year. We're hoping to do a little bit of a Dubai trip, girls trip to Dubai. So that's what my pound challenge was for, and I think this is what we're going to use that for. So I've basically paid £345, which could possibly cover the majority of the trip to Dubai, which is what I wanted to use my pound challenge for anyway. So that has been spent and covered. And then we did spend £10.15 on clothes. Now, I did say in my last video I wasn't going to buy any more clothes because basically there's no money in there, so I'm going to have to put an IOU in there. But my son, it's from Vinted, so it's secondhand, £10.15, brand new coat for the winter because he needed a bigger size. I'm hoping to accumulate some money back and sell his old coat, which is still in really good condition, back to Vinted and try and kind of offset some of that in any event. So let's take that out of clothes, which I think is in my pink folder. I might be wrong. I am wrong. It's in this green folder. So is there anything in there? There is 10. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't need to put an IOU. I will take the 10. That's going to go into the joint account because I had to use the joint account for that. So I'm going to start putting them in the folders that need to be, because I don't want to get them mixed up. So spent on credit will be the £10 that I took out from the miscellaneous. That can go in there. And then the joint account, that'll be a 10. That money in there, the £25, is because my son did his football training. So that's already been paid from the joint account. So I owe that back to the joint account. So that's there in there. So that one can be ticked off. Then we have a spend on home maintenance, which was the range. I purchased, even though again I said I wasn't going to spend from this budget, but we were in desperate need of like a rail that would hold a towel and a hand towel and a toilet roll. I also think some of the Christmas stuff was purchased as well, because I bought some jars for my chutneys as well. From the range. I think I put the full amount in there because I know that the rail was only about £16. So the rest I think was around the jars and bits and bobs that I bought towards the Christmas thing. So I think I might split that and cover it on both parts. So let's have a look. My house maintenance, I think, is in my pink folder. It's in my large long-term one. Car maintenance, and then house maintenance. Yeah, I've already got an IOU in there. So what I'm going to do is add £17. It was £16 something or other. So I'm going to round it up to 17 to cover that, and then pay the rest from the Christmas budget. So 17 plus the £4.28. So I owe you £21.28. So that can go into that folder there. I then need to do the rest. So it was £35.29 minus 17, £18.29. So I'm going to add, I'm going to call it 19 just to round it up. Always round up because then we end up paying more back onto debt. I'm going to do jars for chutney. I also got some bottles as well, so I think I did anyway. That might just have been, you know, I just put £18.29 because I've written it now. It might have just been the jars because I did buy quite a few jars on that, so I'm just going to put the jars, making jars for chutney. So that's that one there, and that is everything. So we are all square on there. So all I'll do now is just check in terms of what's left in the kids' funds that we pay cash for, to equate for this. Remember last week I ticked off too many. So we are now here. We've that's all been paid. So I need to basically add up what is left to pay out and make sure I've got enough in my folder for that. So my son's football, then he's got £5 there, £25 there, and another 5 there, so it's £35. That's another £35. I'm just going to times that by 2, and then he's got, I get paid here, he's got another football session of £5 there, and then his 1-to-1 there. So £100 needs to be in his football folder. Let's have a look. 1, 10, 20, 30. Oh, I keep doing it that way and it hurts my hands. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. I've got £10 spare, so that will go towards my pound challenge. So it might have been that he never had to pay for a couple of his training sessions. It's fine by me. Or did he miss? I think he might have missed a couple actually. He missed a couple, I think, because of his illness. I can't remember if that was already counted for last week. So that's that one. And then for my daughter, she's got 2 more guide sessions, which we send her with £1 a week for her tuck. She still hasn't paid her. I need to remind her to take that. That is for her trip. That she's doing a little residential, and she's only got the 1 payment left, so she needs to take that. And there's £2 coins in there, so she's got enough in there to go. Okay, so I think that's it. I don't think we've got anything else that we need to think about or account for that. So let's do the pound challenge. Let's see what we can pay towards. So for week 35, no, I think we've already, because we've already coloured them off. So I think we are up to date with the pound challenge. So the next week, what we need to get is £38. So let's see what we can do to siphon £38. There's 10 already there. Let's have a look what we've got in here. Guys, she's going to need food. I might take some from this. I might take 20, break that down. So if I do 200 there, and then another 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, no, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100. I'll put 2 5s there. So is that the 3? Yeah, that's the 300 there. We'll put all those away there. And then I will take 20. So 5, 10, yeah, that's 80 there. That's there. So that's 20 there. So 200 and 20, 40, 60, 80. We've got 3 weeks to cover that with, so what's that? 280 divided by 3 weeks. 280 divided by percentage. 280 divided by 3 weeks, £93.30-ish per week for food. We have got so much in our cupboards, freezers and whatnot, so I think we should be okay. So I'm going to pop that with the £10 there, so I know. So that's 30. So we managed to get 30. And then what have we got fuel wise? I don't know how much fuel is in my husband's vehicle, so I don't know. We might need that. And I did have to charge this week, which will have to be in next week's budget as well. So I'm going to leave that for now. And then in terms of fun budget, my husband's going away next weekend. He knows what his budget is and what he owes. And then I think there was, yeah, so he had 300. And then I think I might take 10 from the fun budget because I put £50 aside for half term. Can they stretch for all 40 over the week? I think so. Let's do that. So that is 40. I think that's it then. It's a challenge, so, you know, living up to its name. So I've got 10, 20, 30 and 40. What I'm going to do is just make a little note in my little book, my little notebook, of where I need to take money from. So I'll pop it on here. So we're taking £1 challenge. And that's going to be, what did I do? £20 from food. And then I've done £10 from the fun. And I'll take that from my Monzo things. And then, yeah, Monzo pots. Gosh, I thought I'd got over this brain fog that I was terribly suffering with last week, and it doesn't seem to be the case. So I'm going to pop that aside. That one then is £40. I'm actually £2 up then on the next week. So I'm going to colour in. Let's go with a nice yellow. Colour in this box here. And then I'll make a note down here that on next week is week number 39. Let's cross those ones out. Yeah. Week 39, we owe 37 because we've already £2 up. There we go. We are still several weeks because after this, yeah, we're still weeks behind, but you know what? It's all adding up. So hopefully we will get there. So yeah, we need to put the 10th down as the next Friday. So we should be here. That's okay. Progress, not perfection. That's what I say, isn't it? So, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to count up my savings and my debt. I'll put this book away. Should we do savings first? Yeah, we'll do the savings first, and then I'll go through my debt after and add these up. So this is where we were last month, well, last in August, because we were a month behind. This is where we are now. I've already had a look at what's in our bank account, savings accounts, and I've put that down there. So we'll add it all up. In August, we were at £4,378.22. Let's see what we are up to now. What I am going to do though is as I go through these folders, it's going to be more the pink one, the long-term one. I'm going to cash condense as well and put some placeholders in there and get the money into the bank account. So let's start with October, the pink folder. So I'm going to get my pen ready. Phone repair, as you will know, we have stopped that for the moment, so that's a 0. Nothing added into there. We did use money out of our car maintenance because we paid for our MOT and the service, so we have reduced that down now to £50 a month. What have we got here? We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm going to put £50 in placeholders for that. We've got 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Put that aside. Put that into the car maintenance. And then I'm going to put that to one side, and I'm going to make a note on a separate page on my notebook, £50 to go into that pot because I don't want it to be forgotten. So pots, it'll be £50 car maintenance. Perfect. That to one side. Next folder. So, oh, and then I've got to add it onto here, haven't I? Missed that bit. Car maintenance. Now in brackets, I've got £1.18 in the Monzo pot. That would have been because it accrued some interest. So I'm going to put the total as £51.18 there. Next one is the house maintenance. Now I've got an IOU in this one, so I'm going to put a minus figure in because I don't want it to be seen that we've got more than what we have. So 21.28 is the IOU in that. 21.28 minus £21.28. I don't know, I'm putting brackets around it just because I've started it through there. Travel spending money, you will know because we're not going anywhere anytime soon. I've paused that, so there's nothing in there, but I do have a lowly 10p in the from interest in the pot, so we'll add on the 10p. Then 2026 holiday. It's £100.87 in the pot, so that would be the placeholder that is in here. Gosh, this feels thick, so we need to definitely condense this down. So yeah, there's the 100, and then the 87 will be the interest. So we've got 20, 40, 6. I'm doing it again where I'm doing it where I hurt my hands, so I'm going to do it that way around. 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 82. 20, 40, 60, 83, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 94, 10, 20, 30, 40, 440 in cash, plus the 100 that's there, plus the 87, so 540 and 87 there. And then I'm going to get that into a placeholder. Need to keep my placeholders to one side, don't I? So I need probably a 500. I've definitely got a, I'm sure I have. Yeah, I just haven't used it yet. 500, and then I put that 100 aside, and then 40. Yeah, because I'm not going to bother with the 87 pence. I know it's in there. 520, 540. There we go. I'm going to keep them over there. And then I need to put 440 to go into the holiday 2026 pot in the Monzo. So we'll pop that there. Holiday 2026. There we go. That's that one. Then we have got after that, anniversary trip. So as you know, me and my husband try and recharge our batteries. We go away for our anniversary for a couple of nights, so this is towards that trip. I've got 0 in there at the moment, so we then have 20. Doing it again, do it the other way around. We've got 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 2, 200. Lovely. So I'll get a 200 placeholder, which is, that's my challenge here. 200, 200, there. That's that one. And then I'll write the 200 there. So those are all our long-term kind of money that we don't, well, we shouldn't really. House maintenance has been one where we're dipping into all the time, but we are where we are. I'm going to add that all up now and see where we are up to. I'll just quickly go through and talk to you where we're up to. In emergency fund, we've got £357.98. This is the fund that I try and put £100 into every month and try not to dip into it, but Yeah, so then the pound challenge, I've already taken the 345 out of it that I've spent on the travel points, so that's gone down to £362.31. In our kids' savings, we save for our kids, we save £100 a month for them both. It goes into a trading 212 account. It's doing very well, and it's at £1,464.12. In our general trading 212 account, I've stopped contributing to this one whilst we're paying off debt, but that is doing well as well. That's now at £701.92. And then we've also got a long-term ISA savings account, which is for our Xmas savings and the 40th birthday trip that I'm going on next year, with my husband and my friend who's also 40 next year. We did it for my husband and her husband. So yeah, this year is our turn, or next year is our turn. So we're saving for that as well. I have already taken, and I put that down here, 1,100 out of this to pay towards the deposit for our 2026. So when we've got 2026 holiday, that is, when we've got enough in that pot, we're going to move then that back into, or take it from there to pay for Christmas instead, so it evens itself out, and that's at £1,124.42 currently. So we're going to add all those up. So we've got in savings £4,781.62. So it's because we've obviously taken money out of it, we are going to be down. I'm just going to check that you're in view here, 1 second. Yeah, we are going to be not as high up as what we have been, but that's okay, we are still up. So we are up by 4781.62 minus what we had in August of £4,378.22. So we're up by £403.40, sorry. And we're up, so I'm not going to quibble at that. I think we're still making good progress. So, and we're going to put some of that into our savings account and hopefully get some interest from that as well. So I'll take that for the win. And then for our debt, I haven't added them up yet, so I don't know how much I am down, but I am down, so that's good. We have paid off our Argos card, so next month we're not going to be putting that down because that's been paid off. Amex, we haven't really reduced it that much, sadly, but you know, it's still a little bit down. It's £2,030.18. We owe a small loan on our dining room table. It's interest free, and also our mobile phones are not paid off yet. That should be done by August next year. So I combine that debt together, and so they're also interest free, but that's at £1,100.20. My husband's credit card, we try and just pay the minimum at the moment while we're focusing on some other debt, but that is down to £1,395.10. And then I'm carrying a balance on my credit card at the moment. I can't remember where it was from. However, it should hopefully be paid off next month, of £318.49. And then furniture loan that we've got, interest free. It's the furniture that it's fitted furniture for our kids' bedroom. That's at £3,577.56. The Virgin credit card, which is going to cause us some trouble sooner rather than later, because the interest-free period on a massive chunk of that will be ending on the 16th of October, and I am really struggling to get eligibility for another credit card at the moment to tart that across to another interest-free an interest-free card, but we are biding our time in hope that we can, and we'll just continue to try and play it down. It is what it is. It's what happens is when you play with debt and play with credit cards. So we've never had to do that before, but I just think the climate at the moment isn't giving us much scope for manoeuvre. If anyone's got any ideas, I'm open to suggestion. But yeah, we're down to £10,950.99. We've got a magnet loan for our kitchen that's sitting, it's interest free, and that's at £14,328.72. And then the Tesco loan that we got for also combined with our kitchen, we didn't get much change out of about 55,000 for our kitchen diner, but it is the kitchen diner of dreams. We had a lot of work done in there. It was worth it in my view. It's added value to my home. So it's just that it was a 30 grand loan, and obviously the total includes the interest that we're paying. So we're just basically paying the interest at the moment. The hope was that when we took it, we would be speedily paying it down very quickly. It hasn't happened. We bit off more than we can chew. But we're not going to keep beating ourselves up about that. We are where we are. We're sorting the mess out now. We're at £33,633.28 on that. So added up, we are a total debt of so we are at now, we're below the 70,000 mark, whoop whoop, and that's at 67,334.52. So we are down by, oh, I put it already there, reduced by, cross that out, that's fine. So we'll minus the 70210.73 from when we were in August. So since August, we've paid off £2,876.21. Divide that by 2 because that's over the 2 months. Divide it by 2, did that work? Yeah, so we're on average paying £1,440-ish off each month. Not enough, but we will continue to keep doing our best, and that's all we can do at the moment. We are where we are. We still want to live as well. Okay, so that's everything from me for this week. I will go and get this wonderful chunk of money into our savings account, get some interest building on that. I'm going to sort out my pound challenge and get that sorted. And yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me. Please do like, subscribe, comment. That would be wonderful. And I will hopefully see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.